The door creaked open with a slow, agonizing groan. And there she stood, Spencer. Her blonde hair disheveled from the rain-slicked streets of Manhattan. Eyes wide with the shock of betrayal. "Logan. What the hell is this?" she whispered. Holding up the crumpled letter I'd hidden in my desk drawer. The one from my estranged family back in Ohio. Outing my hidden struggle with the scars of a conversion therapy past I'd never shared. My heart slammed against my ribs like a trapped bird. The metallic taste of fear flooding my mouth. I froze on the edge of our queen-sized bed in our cramped Brooklyn apartment. The city lights flickering through the rain-streaked window like distant fireworks gone wrong. The air smelled of stale coffee and the faint lavender from Spencer's shampoo. A scent that usually calmed me but now twisted like a knife. How could I explain? The words lodged in my throat, thick and unspoken. It started 6 months ago, under the golden haze of a Central Park afternoon. I was Logan Hayes, 28. A freelance photographer scraping by with gigs for indie magazines. My camera always slung over my shoulder like a shield. Spencer Reed, 29, was the sharp-suited lawyer from a midtown firm. All confidence and quick wit. The kind who could argue a case and win hearts in the same breath. We met at a Pride event, ironic. Now, where she bumped into me while dodging a rogue frisbee. Her laugh, bright and unfiltered, cut through the crowd's chatter like sunlight piercing clouds. "Sorry about that," she'd said, steadying me with a hand on my arm. Electric. From there, it was stolen lunches in Bryant Park, her fingers brushing mine over shared falafel wraps. The crunch of autumn leaves under our boots as we wandered hand in hand. She made me feel seen. Not just as a woman loving another woman, but as someone whole. But I carried my secret like a shadow, the years in Ohio. Forced into therapy by parents who couldn't accept their daughter wasn't normal. The sessions left invisible bruises, doubt, shame, that I buried deep, fearing it'd scare her away. That night, the storm raged outside, thunder rumbling like a distant argument. Spencer tossed the letter onto the bed, her voice cracking. "Conversion therapy? Logan. Why didn't you tell me? We've shared everything, our dreams, our fears. But this?" She paced the hardwood floor, heels clicking sharply, each step echoing my pounding pulse. I sighed. A long, shuddering breath that carried the weight of years unspoken. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in with the hum of the fridge in the kitchenette and the drip-drip from the leaky faucet we'd meant to fix. "I didn't know how," I finally muttered, my voice barely above a whisper. "It was before us, Spence. I thought I'd left it behind. But had I?" The nightmares still came, sterile rooms, probing questions, the sting of rejection. She stopped pacing, her shoulders slumping as she sank onto the bed beside me. The mattress dipped, and her hand hovered near mine, hesitant. The scent of wet wool from her coat mingled with the ozone of the storm, grounding me in the moment. We sat in silence, the kind that's heavy with unsaid words, broken only by her soft sniffle. "I love you, Logan. All of you. But secrets, they eat away at us." Her words hung there, raw and real, like a scene from one of those Netflix dramas where characters bare their souls under dim lights. I reached for her hand, our fingers intertwining, warm skin against cool. "I'm scared," I admitted, tears blurring the neon glow from the bodega sign across the street. "Scared you'll see me as broken." She turned to me then, her blue eyes stormy yet soft, like the Atlantic after a squall. "Broken? You're the strongest person I know. Capturing the world's raw edges through your lens. Making beauty from chaos." She pulled me closer, her breath warm on my neck, the faint tick of her watch a steady rhythm against my ear. We talked through the night, voices low and halting, unpacking my past like fragile heirlooms. The rain pattered against the window, a soothing underscore to our confessions. I told her about the isolation, the fake smiles at family dinners, the relief of fleeing to New York where I could breathe freely. As dawn crept in, painting the room in soft grays, Spencer cupped my face. "This doesn't change us. It makes us stronger." But doubt lingered in her eyes, a flicker of hurt that I'd kept her out. The mouthwan peaked when she stood abruptly, grabbing her coat. "I need air," she said, voice tight. My stomach dropped, the creak of the door slamming shut like a finality. Alone, I curled up, the sheets cold without her, the distant siren wail piercing the quiet like my own regret. Hours blurred into a haze. I wandered the streets, camera in hand, snapping shots of rain-slicked sidewalks reflecting skyscrapers, the steam from street vendors curling like forgotten dreams. Each click was a therapy of its own, framing my turmoil. Back home, the apartment felt empty, the echo of our laughter from better days haunting the space. I brewed coffee, the bitter aroma filling the void, and sat by the window, watching pedestrians hustle below, umbrellas blooming like black flowers. Then, the door opened again. Spencer, soaked anew, but with a determined set to her jaw. I walked to the park, she said, dripping on the welcome mat. Sat on our bench. Remembered why I fell for you. She crossed the room, pulling me into a fierce hug. Her wet clothes seeping through mine. A tangible reminder of her return. Your secret isn't you, Logan. It's just a chapter. We're writing the rest together. We collapsed onto the couch. Limbs entangled. The city's hum fading into background noise. Tears mixed with laughter as we shared more, her own fears of vulnerability from a high-pressure job. The pressure to be perfect. The air lightened, scented now with hope and fresh rain. In that moment, vulnerability became our bond, not our breaker. Days turned to weeks. We sought therapy together. Sessions in a cozy Upper West Side office where the therapist's voice was calm, like a steady river. Spencer held my hand through it, her thumb tracing circles on my skin, a silent promise. Our love deepened, raw and real, like the gritty streets of our city. We walked hand in hand through pride parades, my camera capturing the joy, her smile brighter than the confetti. One evening, under the Brooklyn Bridge's twinkling lights, the river lapping softly below, Spencer knelt. Logan Hayes, will you marry me? Secrets and all? The ring glinted, simple and true. My yes was a sob, a release, the wind carrying away old shadows. In the end, that night wasn't our unraveling, it was our rebirth. Love, we learned, thrives in truth, not hidden corners. And in the heart of America, two women found their forever, one honest word at a time.